This is my 1991 twin-turbo 300ZX, and even though the paint looks decent from afar, it's virtually totaled. There's a massive amount of hail damage, especially on the hood. Fender was destroyed from a blowout during a police chase, and of course it's got some rust. And since I've already spent over $20,000 rebuilding the drivetrain, manual swapping it, and taking this nasty interior and turning it into this beautiful masterpiece, which only leaves me with about $500 to paint the whole car and get the interior matching the exterior. So that means we're doing it all ourselves. To start it off, we're gonna address some of this hail damage by pulling the dents to minimize the amount of Bondo we have to use. I'm gonna be using this PDR kit I got on Amazon for about $30. It comes with these tabs in various sizes, so I chose one that fits the shape and size of the dent. I used this supplied glue and gun, and I put a generous amount onto the tab and I stuck it onto the dent and let it dry. Once it was dry, I used this tool to attach to the tab and began to pull the dent out. Once the tab popped off, I sprayed it with some IPA and the glue came off pretty easily. I went through this process probably about 5 or 6 times, and once I had the dent where I liked it, I tapped down the high spots that I had created. And as you can see, we started with a pretty decent sized dent that likely would have needed to be filled with Bondo. But now it's pretty flat and we can just glaze coat right over this and no one will ever know it was there. Now for the hood, I counted over 30 dents from the hail damage, and I figured since it's aluminum, I'd be better off finding a used hood. I actually found an Aztec red hood on OfferUp and I gave it a try. I gave it a good wash down and it looked like it was in pretty good shape, so I swapped out the original hood for this one, and unfortunately I realized it had a pretty bad kink in the corner and it was not lining up with the body lines at all, and it also had some decent dents in it. Thankfully the seller was pretty cool and had other hoods available, so I traded him for this black one. Once I got it on, I realized there were still some minor fitment issues with this one, so I loosened up the hood hinge and I made some adjustments to the bump stop, and I got it fitting pretty good, so I was happy with it. Onto the wing. It's made out of some sort of foam, and all the water over the years has completely warped it, so we need to take it off and see if the hatch survived. It's only held on with a few screws and some double-sided tape, so I just ripped it off once I removed the hardware holding it on. Surprisingly, the hatch was in great shape and there was minimal rust. So once I had the wing off, I fought with the double-sided tape, and then it was time for the fun. I got my Harbor Freight DA out with some 320 grit sandpaper and began to sand the entire car. There's no way around it, this sucks. And this is where a lot of the money you pay goes when you take your car to someone to be painted. It doesn't take a lot of skill, but it takes a lot of time. And when it's 115 degrees, it feels twice as long. I'm using the chip guard here to exaggerate what you're looking for, but as you sand the paint, you will see some orange peel, and you want to keep sanding until it's completely flat like you see here. If you can still see any of the shiny paint, you just have to keep sanding until it's flat and it's all matte. Next, I tried to get rid of the rock guard by using 80 grit sandpaper on the DA, but it ended up just gumming up and I didn't feel comfortable painting over that surface. So I switched to using a heat gun and a scraper, and it started to come off a bit easier, and I stripped it down to the bare metal. I used a similar method to get the vinyl pinstripe out of the body line. Unfortunately, I couldn't use the same method on the bumper, so I had no option but to sand it down. But the effort that's going into this is what's going to save me a ton of money on this paint job, since labor costs are so high these days. And I don't know if they use a different material on the bumper, but it came out pretty smooth, and I think some filler primer will likely accomplish the smooth finish that we're after on this. And in going through this process, you're going to really get to know the paint. The OEM paint on this car was very thin and it was easy to burn through, but I also noticed in the rear quarter that there was some paint work in the past. You can see the tape line here that's not very good, and so to avoid some bad tape lines, we're going to remove all the trim to make sure that we can hide it all under the trim. So I started off by taking off the window trim on the driver's side and the rear quarter, and then I moved on to the passenger side and did the exact same thing. They're just held in with some clips. Now the only other places where you're going to have some tape lines are around the windows, so I went ahead and removed the cosmetic window trim that goes above the windshield, and I did the same thing to the rear glass. This doesn't actually seal the window, but it's just there to make it look like a clean finish, so I don't think that we have to actually remove the glass. And you guessed it, it was time for more sanding. Now to fill the dead air while I sand down this car, we should talk about where my name Chef Joni comes from. I have an obsession with making and eating great steaks, and one of the best parts of a good steak is the sear. If you not only want to be able to make steakhouse quality steaks at home, but support my channel and help fund these builds, you can buy a perfect sear at chefjoni.us. We guarantee no torch taste or your money back, and I promise you once you start searing your steaks like this, you'll never sear it any other way again. This is not a drop shipping scheme. This is one of my small businesses where we pack and ship every order, and it helps fund all this content so you get to watch it for free. Now we have to address these fenders. The driver's side is completely destroyed, and there's also some signs of crash damage on the passenger side. Luckily, Nissan still makes OEM fenders, so I bought a set. I went ahead and removed the passenger side and the driver's side, snapping a few bolts in the process. When unboxing the new fenders, I discovered the driver's side had a small kink in it, but with a little massaging and some minor bodywork, I think we can get it fixed. So I roughly mounted them up with a few bolts, just to see how they lined up with the hood that I bought. Once I sanded down the hood, I noticed some small dents and low spots, so now we can actually start the bodywork. My good friend and painter, Brandon, aka Painter Bam, on TikTok and Instagram came out to help. He's been doing this for 10 years and does really good work for a reasonable price. Here he is using 80 grit sandpaper to reveal more of the dent and give a nice rough surface for the filler to stick to. As we sanded, we revealed more and more damage to this hood. It already had some filler in it, and it was painted 3 times, and the most recent time was single stage paint. But we carried on, we mixed up some body filler and spread it into the dent. This doesn't have to be perfect, since we'll sand this all smooth once it dries. Seeing this, I'm not 100% sold on this hood anymore, so I may go back to the original hood down the line and fix the hail damage. But for now, we carried on with this hood by using the DA with some 80 grit sandpaper and got a bulk of the filler off. Then using a block and 80 grit paper, we shaped the filler and smoothed it out with the rest of the panel. While more layers of filler dried, we moved on to the rest of the car. We sanded out all the small dents and door dings that accumulated from the years. We also grinded down the rust that was attacking the rear quarter panels so we can prepare them to be fixed. And here you can see all the spots that needed some body work just on this driver's side door. Brandon actually taught me a trick to help find these smaller dents that are easy to miss. You just place a paper towel under your hand and it will actually exaggerate the feel of the dents onto your hand, making it easier to find them. When you sand down the areas you feel, you'll be able to see the low spots a lot easier. And then we just used a good old hammer to tap down any high spots. While Brandon continued to work on that, I took one of the easier jobs and used 320 grit sandpaper and sanded down the brand new fenders so they were ready for paint. Now it really starts to get fun as I bought a set of these still-in side skirts. They're made of some type of plastic, so I scuffed them up with 600 grit sandpaper and then I test fitted them onto the car. I was absolutely shocked at how well they fit out of the box. They needed virtually zero adjustment, and I also got these door filler pieces which are going to close the gap in between the actual door and the new side skirts. And thankfully I got the matching still-in front lip. However, we have one big problem. The previous owner ripped the lower section of the bumper clean off. Luckily he kept the piece, so we're going to try to reattach it to save ourselves some money here. I pulled off the remainder of the under tray from the broken piece of the bumper. Then for the actual repair, I started by reattaching the upper section. I applied some epoxy, and before it's set up, I used this plastic welder that I got off of Amazon to connect it into place. Once it's set up a bit, I clamped down the center section onto one side, and I started to plastic weld it onto the other side. And honestly, it feels a lot stronger than I thought, and it looks a lot better than I expected. I may add some more to the back to strengthen it, and then we can just fill the cracks in the front with some filler and nobody will know it was ever ripped. From there, I tossed on the lip to the bumper, and the fitment was also very good. Then I pulled the nose panel, and I got the passenger headlight in, and I mocked up the bumper. The bumper's been off this car since March, and even though the car may look totaled to you, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm very happy with the progress. So we still have a lot of body work and sanding left on this car, and we still have to properly fix that rust in the rear quarter panels. But I'm waiting on an OEM replica wing to come in, and then this thing will finally be ready for paint. And once we have it painted, I already have the wheels and tires ready to go, so I'm really excited for the final assembly of this car. It's been a long time coming. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a like on it if you want to, and I'll see you guys next week.